Hello, listeners. My name is Charles Scott. The name of the program is called Can We Talk? Here we are another fine week, and I'm here with my son.
Charles Scott Jr., how you viewers doing? Now remember, we're online. If you miss episodes, go back and check on Facebook or YouTube. We have that phone number down there. You know, that number is real. People, give us a call, ask us a question. Anything on this episode that may confuse you or you want more information, give us a call. We pick the phone up.
We're here to help you out and also give you information about some of the things that are happening locally and some of the things that are happening on a national level. There's a lot of things that are going on in the financial quarters. You know, we talk about mortgages, we talk about ways of buying a house, some of the things you can do to improve your home, and also we talk a lot about ways that you can creatively be able to buy. Right now it's a challenge for the first-time home buyer. I was watching some commentaries the other day, and they were talking about, you know, first-time home buyers having a struggle to be able to afford the prices that are out there right now. So, you know, you got to become creative. Listen to us. We'll give you some ideas.
And what I say is, don't let it be a challenge. You know, if you give us a call, we'll sit you down. And what we do is we help you build the right team. Because remember, when you buy a house, it's a team effort. You have your real estate agent, you have a loan officer, you might have a bank. You have your attorney, and guess what? We have access to all those resources. We do this every day. Give us a call, and we'll sit you down, and you'll realize, although it may look like a challenge from the outside, but when you have the right coaching through us, make it real simple.
That's right. You know, and the thing about it is that it's hard to do it on your own. It's hard to go out there and figure out what you're qualified for, looking and knocking on doors. And it's not like the old days. You know, everything today is, you know, sophisticated. You got the new age with the AI and all of the different marketing tools. In other words, we utilize all of those tools to help you find a house, and we utilize those tools to help you sell your house. So there's a lot of new innovative ideas that are out there right now when it pertains to real estate. Things aren't like they used to be.
I see these houses out here. I mean, we look at what we call the MLS hot sheet every day. You know, we see what houses go under deposit, which ones go, you know, expired. And for those out there, you know, if you're working with someone that maybe you don't feel like you're getting the full service, give us a call. I mean, we're like, unlike other agents, we do a video tour. We have a network of buyers. We put your house out there, especially to New York. We have a lot of New York buyers, and give us a call for that free CMA. You never know how much your house is worth. Don't trust that Zillow number. Give us a call and get a real number.
Also, I want to mention, you know, this week for people that are, you know, looking for bargains. You know, everybody's looking for a bargain. Everybody's looking for a deal in real estate. Well, you know, you just have to become more creative and look at more homes, expand your territory, and use the professionals and utilize the tools that we have to, you know, at our avail. Because we can look into the multiple listing service. You know, we can look at different sites, you know, word to word. A lot of times, you know, I belong to a lot of organizations, so does my son, you know, and talking to people, someone may say, hey, Charlie, I have a property that's going to be coming on the market. You maybe have somebody that might be looking for something like this. So, you know, I'm not saying get the inside information because it all has to be listed on the multiple listing service. But
correct.
We are full-time realtors. By that, I mean this is what we do. This is all we do. We don't do this and then also our part-time business and then run to the office when we get out of work and then start working for you. We're here 24 hours. I was going to say 24/7, but I don't know about 24 hours. But
I'll say 24/7. Text me. I'm looking at houses at 7 a.m. in the morning. Give me a call. Not that number. I'll give you another number. Call me up. But yeah, in this market, I'll say make sure you have someone by your side that's going to help you out. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in Connecticut you may not know. For my buyers, I talk to a lot of buyers every day, and I said, what about time to own? When they give me the question, oh, I haven't saved up enough money for the down payment, closing costs, I tell them, well, what about the time to own program? They say, what's that? And then when they say, what's that, I give them the information. They say, wow, I never knew that existed. And if you want to know more information about that, give us a call. That's a program here in Connecticut for Connecticut citizens that have been here for 3 years that they will help you pay your down payment, help you pay your closing costs. And guess what? It's a forgivable loan. I'll say it's a grant.
Not only that, a lot of the banks have programs to help you purchase a home.
Yes.
And that would be something that would be hard for each individual buyer out there to know about, because you're not calling up every bank and asking every bank what program you have or what's out there. And sometimes, you may call a bank and you may get the branch manager.
Well, you might get someone outside of the state too. Like I said, it also depends what you're doing.
That's true.
If you're going on one of these apps, I'm not going to name any, but it's going to put you in a general queue. And whoever mortgage person or person that works for the company chooses you, they'll choose you and start making a profile. Now, that person may be in a whole different state. They could be in California. And when you tell them you're from Connecticut, it really doesn't make a difference for them. They're doing people from throughout the entire United States. But when you work with someone who's local or knows about Connecticut's programs or has special deals, it can save you a lot of money in the long run.
You know, you mentioned something there, and that's right. I've had people call me dealing with a certain bank, and they call the 800 number. They go online, they call the 800 number. The person answering the phone is in California. So that person's just giving you a pre-approval or something based on your income and based upon your job and based upon the credit. And the person, the other representative, the same bank locally has programs that may be available in the zip code in which you're looking, the local area in which you're looking. And in that particular case, for that bank, there was a $10,000 grant that was available, but the person in California had no clue as to what was going on in Connecticut. So they just gave them a basic pre-approval. And I said, well, you know, you need to call this person here. And they actually called the local representative and had the file transferred from California, the 800 number, to the local representative for the mortgage company, which then offered them a $10,000 grant program, where as long as they lived in the house and stayed in it for a while, they didn't even have to pay that money back. So there was a $10,000 savings that I was able to arrange for them through the mortgage company that they weren't even aware of.
You see what he said? He was able to arrange. Remember, you want to have that, your realtor must know about these programs too. I mean, I talk to a lot of realtors that don't know about these programs. But me and him, we study these programs every day because they're very useful to our customer base who may need assistance here, assistance there. I mean, it's not getting any cheaper to buy a house, and why not have the tools in place and have the people that know how to use the tools there to help you?
So there's a lot of different things that are happening out there as far as, you know, you being a buyer. And, you know, in many cases, you know, you may not even be a first-time home buyer. With the interest rates going down now, some people are selling that would not have normally sold their houses before, and then they're looking to buy another house. So you know, we can help you by both ways, helping you sell your present house and then looking for another house if you're looking. You may be looking to downsize. We have a lot of people that are looking to downsize because they don't need the big house. They don't need the taxes on the big house because the kids have all gone off to school. So they don't need a big house. They need something smaller. Maybe even go all the way down to a 2-bedroom or even a 2-bedroom condo. They don't want to, you know, as you get older, you don't want to shovel the snow. You don't want to cut the grass. You don't want to have all the maintenance. You just want to pull your car in the garage, go upstairs, and if you want to go on a cruise, go on vacation, or go away for a month, lock the door, and that's it. So we have people that are downsizing. And, you know, if that's you, give us a call. The number's right there. We can come out and, you know, give you an idea of, you know, what your house is worth. I have a gentleman who just sold a condo on the north end, Bridgeport. He relocated to Florida. So, you know, and then another one relocated to what? Barbados.
Yep. So a lot of relocation going on, but remember, we're still in Bridgeport. We're in a nice area where, you know, property values are maintaining. And when I talk to my sellers, I tell them that may not always be the case. So for those who are on the fence about selling now versus next year, what I'll say is right now is still a great time to sell. I have buyers waiting. And also, remember, like I said, in every episode I mentioned this, don't be afraid to sell the house as is. I mean, you may say my house is ugly. Your house looks like a palace to somebody coming from New York in an apartment that may be 900 square feet. Your house is a backyard, a front yard, parking, basement. Who cares if the furnace doesn't work? We'll put it as is. You don't know. Give us a call. Plenty of different strategies out here. And it also depends on what agent you hire, too.
Yeah, I mean, if the furnace doesn't work, what we do in a situation like that is we tell the buyer or the buyer's agent the furnace doesn't work, needs to be replaced. Well, the buyer, there's programs out there that can not only loan the buyer the money to buy the house, but they can loan the buyer the money to fix the items that need to be fixed.
Yes.
There's a program the FHA has called 203K. So they can say, okay, I'm buying the house for this amount of money. and it's going to cost me another $20,000 to fix it up. So they borrow the money to buy the house, and then they borrow an additional $20,000 to fix it up. Now that's a good deal also for the buyer, because now the house is worth a lot more money. So the
Yes.
buyer, by improving the house, has actually increased the value a lot more than what the buyer was even buying the house for. So it's a win-win situation for everybody.
And we're, like I said, we're still in a market where if it doesn't come to that, we have people that will buy the house cash, as is, will reflect in the price. But don't be afraid to give us a call if you're missing something like a garage door that's not working. Downstairs, if you have asbestos, anything like that, give us a call. We've seen it all. And this market is, I'll say, still very strong for my sellers. But like I said, that may not always be the case. So it's better to give us a call now versus later.
Yeah, there's a lot of private money out there. By private money, in other words, what do I mean by that? There's investors that will put money into a pool of money and say, okay, we're going to put all this money together for people that want to buy houses that may not qualify the traditional way, because maybe the mortgage company won't give them the money because it needs to be in good shape. Everything has to work perfectly. So we're going to put this money together and loan it to people so that they can buy a house and fix it up. And also we will be able, everybody wins, because the investor gets to make money. Let's put it this way. The investor's thinking, if I put my money into a savings account, I'm going to get maybe 0.5% in return. If I put it into a mortgage, I might get 6%. So therefore, it's better for the investor to loan it out. And the investors put their money together and they can wait a long time. So maybe they can wait 20 years, 30 years, because they're looking long term. They're not looking short term. They're looking for retirement. Maybe it's money that they got extra, and they're not going to need it until they retire. So it's better for them to loan it to someone to buy a house than to just put it into a savings account and get a small amount of money. Because if you put it in the savings account in the bank will give you 0.5%, if that much, and then turn it right around and loan the same money right back to you at 6%. So there, it's just being able to make the best out of the money that you have available to you.
And I was going to jump in there and say that, yeah, so when you see that, that becomes a way to, finance the house. That's what we call hard money. That's a hard money loan, private money. And we're seeing a lot of that in the Fairfield County area. So give us a call. We actually have lenders also for those that are investors. We have a lot of investors that watch the show too that want to get into. So we get that call every day. Show me the foreclosures, but then usually they're coming at us with a bank. Remember, foreclosures, that's going to be a situation where you're buying a house with some type of private money or savings. Because remember, the banks that want the house to actually be functional. A lot of these foreclosures are missing major items: furnaces, stoves, refrigerators. But we deal with those customers. We have a network of investors we work with every day. So if you're an investor, give us a call also.
Yeah, people, like you just said, a lot of people are looking for those foreclosures. There's not a lot of foreclosures out there. I mean, years ago, there used to be foreclosures, but if for anyone that's been looking at the economy's been doing pretty well. People have been employed, people are earning more, property values have increased. So the person years ago that would be losing his house, even if he gets in trouble now and he has trouble making the mortgage payments, because the house is going up so much in value, they don't have to just sit there and get foreclosed on. They can sell it. They can say, oh, I can't afford this house anymore. I missed 3 or 4 mortgage payments. But let me see. I'm going to call Tri-State Realty and see what it's worth. So
exactly.
I come out.
was going to say that part next. Because remember, with these foreclosures back in the 2008, 2009, 2010, it was a different world. And a lot of people are still having, I'll say, nightmares or scarred by that, where back in the day when you went through foreclosure, yeah, your house is worth less than the money you owe on it. Short sale, no difficulty. You sell the house, so you don't make any money. We're in a situation now where a lot of people who bought houses pre-pandemic, who may be trouble, paying the mortgage, you can sell that house and get from under it, and it'll come out with some money, possibly enough money to do another down payment on another house.
That's right. So you don't have to sit there. I tell a lot of people, the worst thing you can do is to not do anything. Just wait for the inevitable to happen. Because if you want money on your mortgage and you're having trouble even now, don't wait until it's too late, because the bank is giving you more than enough time to turn around and try and look at the options that you have.
People get a lot of mail. They hide from the mail. They don't open the letters. I mean, don't treat this like, I'll say, my renter is running away from a landlord. When you have a mortgage with a bank, I'll say it's more so of a partnership. They don't want to see you fail. Last thing they want back is the house, because then they have to maintain the house, make sure that the house is not broken into, being abandoned. So you want to make sure you work with the bank. Go to those court cases. Take off work. Don't miss any of those cases, because remember, that's going to be a time for you to negotiate with the mortgage lender.
Well, one other thing that, I'm just trying to think of the different things that we can do to help you is if you're looking to purchase a home or sell the home. If you're looking to buy a house, a lot of people right now are looking for maybe a multi-family house or an investment.
Oh, yeah.
And we try to prepare you for all of the possibilities as to what things can possibly happen. Remember, if you're buying a 2-family or a 3-family house, it's an investment. It's a business.
Yes.
It's not like you're not a nonprofit.
Nope.
So you've got to be able to not only make money on that property, but make your mortgage payments. And when I say make money, because you're going to have expenses. In other words, you got to pay the taxes. People want to get that multifamily, but remember, the bigger the house, the more expenses.
Exactly.
You got insurance. It's not a single family house just sitting there. Remember, when you go to get insurance on a multifamily house, your insurance is going to cost you a lot more. If you fall in your own house, you can't sue yourself. But if you got a 2-family and a 3-family, remember, you got people going in and out, in and out. You got people visiting the tenants. So there's more of a chance for someone to slip and fall in the ice and the snow down the stairs. So there's more chances for everything to go wrong that will go wrong. So your insurance is going to cost you a little bit more. Plus now you're the landlord. Are you landlord material? In other words, if you get along with people, you might be asleep at night, getting ready to go to work in the morning, you hear the baby upstairs crying.
Exactly.
So you can't go up there and knock on the door and say, tell the baby to shut up.
And also, more importantly, I'll say if opening a multifamily, people don't take into consideration vacancies. Remember, you may buy a house, may have no tenants, it may have tenants. But if it does have tenants, most likely those rents are not going to be at market rate. So you got to figure a way to either increase their rent or give them notice to move. And then the biggest thing is finding tenants. Oh man, that's a hassle in general. I mean, give us a call. We find tenants too. Those landlords out there who are looking for great tenants. I know it could be a hassle of calling their jobs, their references. With AI now, I've seen fake paychecks, I've seen fake IDs. So you need someone that can do that vet as far as look at the background check. And that's what we do here at Tri-State Realty. We have a reputation of finding good tenants for people also.
That's true. That's true. And a lot of work goes into that. People don't understand that.
Yeah.
If you're looking to screen the tenants, because remember, once you sign that lease and you have tenants inside of your building, it's not as easy as if it doesn't work out, you shake their hand and say, well, you got to move out. Especially now, it's a little more difficult for people to find apartments. So you've got to actually, do your homework. It's called do your due diligence.
Due diligence.
Due diligence. That means check everything out. Check things out, as far as if you got someone coming if you have a 2-family and a 3-family out there and you want to rent it out, have a good application. Make sure the application asks all the right questions. And also check the previous references. Check with the other landlords. Some people even go as far as to not only check with the last landlord, but the landlord before that one.
I do that. We do that here. We make no stone unturned. We call back as far as we can. Because remember, when they sign that lease with you and they move in, people have rights. Tenants have rights, especially here in Connecticut. It's not a process of just telling them to leave. And remember, although you own the property and your rules go, remember, you still have to respect their rights. And for example, I have landlords that tell me, I don't want any dogs, no pets, no cats. But what do you do when someone comes with a support animal or a service animal? You can't just say, no, that's a protected class. So these are things you may not know that you give us a call. We'll educate you or take over the process of renting it for you.
Yeah, there's a lot, I could say that it's even more complicated when you own a multifamily house and you're dealing with trying to rent it out. There's a lot of laws, a lot of rules and regulations that protect not only you, but the tenant. So, and you have to know those and you have to follow those. You just can't do what you want to do. That's going to create a lot of problems for you.
Mm-hmm. But I have some landlords watching right now and say, hey, I say wannabe landlords, when I get my building, I'm just going to rent it out Section 8, give them the keys, and go back to New York and not even think about the house. If you're going to do that, remember, Section 8 is a whole different industry. Nowadays, a lot of things go into Section 8. They're going to be inspecting the apartment once a year. They're going to want certain things fixed. You have to know what to do, what here. Give us a call. I'm an expert on Section 8. And you got to know what kind of Section 8. You may say, oh, there's different kinds. Yeah, there's the RAP program. There's different offices. Mm-hmm. There's some that pay more than others. I bet you didn't know that. There's Section 8 offices that may pay more than another one. Give us a call. A lot of things go into this.
Yeah, with the Section 8, that's a totally different type of program. And that type of program is a good program.
It's great when you have it maintained.
As long as you do your due diligence.
Yes.
In other words, there's nothing adverse about the Section 8 program. It's just like anything else. You have to just screen the tenants and screen your applications.
Yes.
So there's a lot to it, but you've got to be able to know what it consists of. We do that.
Yes.
We do all of the checks and balances, and you've got to basically know what the program is all about. Like you just
Very
said,
true.
It's not a one program fits all.
People don't, I talk to people every day, they think that the money comes every month. It does come every month as long as you play by their rules. Remember, if your tenant says, well, the landlord hasn't been here in 2 days to fix this sink, Section 8 is always going to side with the tenant and say, well, you know what? We're holding the payment up because it's unsafe. You have no water. Make sure that you know what you're getting into, because remember, that's the government's money before it's your money, I'll say.
Right, and with any tenant, you would want to make sure that they got a safe, sound place. Whether it's Section 8 or not, you as a landlord have a responsibility to make sure that your place is taken care of. Think of it this way. When you were renting, before you purchased, all the things you wanted your present landlord to do, well, those are the same things that you are going to be required to do.
Exactly, and I like to talk to my landlords, my future landlords. Remember, a lot of people go into renting these apartments thinking, well, my landlord never did that. Why should I? Remember, things have changed maybe since you rented. And also, you may have had that experience in a different state. We're in Connecticut. Well, I'll say there's definitely some laws that favor these tenants. They have rights. Also, you have rights as a landlord, too, you must know about. So give us a call. We can brief you on those. We're not attorneys, but we see this every day.
We'll steer you in the right direction.
Yes.
So, we just want to let you know we do it all. We can help you out and assist you with not only purchasing a property, but we want to see that you keep the property. We can assist you in selling that particular property, and every week we try to touch on the probate situation. If you have someone out there that's in trouble, or someone who's got a property and maybe a situation where a mother and father passed away, or a property being passed down from one person to the other, you give us a call, because that involves a whole new type of situation.
Yes.
And it's something where you're dealing with the government, you're dealing with the law, you're dealing with the courts. We're not lawyers, but we are associated with some of the best ones out there that we can refer you to, that can sit down and give you, just like we do a free market analysis, we have the attorneys that will sit down and evaluate your situation and give you some advice. Now, you don't have to use that attorney or those attorneys, but at least you have advice, because everything is governed by the law as to what you can do. We get so many people that call us and say, oh, I don't have to do that. Who told you that? Well, my cousin, he did this and he did that.
Yeah, the cousin that said, oh, I don't have to go through probate, or I don't got to do this, or the reverse mortgage says I can do this. Remember, this stuff is written in stone as far as bring the paperwork to our office. We'll put you in the right direction. We work with probate lawyers. We're going to have one on here in a couple of weeks. You're going to see. Very good episode coming up. But yeah, give us a call if you're going through probate.
Yes, we're going to have an attorney that's going to come on, that's going to assist you. And we're going to have some questions and answers. basically where he can assist you and tell you some of the things that he incurs. We actually did a seminar just this past weekend, and the attorney was there, and the attorney was able to, talk about some of the things that's going to be required for probate, such as wills and pass down of properties and what's going to be required. So I don't want to take his thunder. When we have him come in, we're going to give you an idea of some of the things that can be done. But you don't even have to wait until then. You can call that number that you see right there, and we can tell you the name of the person and give you his contact information, and you can call that person up, and that person can, tell you and give you an idea of some of the things that you can do ahead of time.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to call. We've seen it all. We've seen situations where the house is left to one person. We look at the property records. Maybe it was quit claim to another person last minute. Maybe there was 2 quit claims done in the same year. So it's always going to give us a call, and we'll put you in the right direction and evaluate what's going on with you.
So we just want to let you know that, we talked about some different scenarios today, but we can assist you with quite a few things by giving us a call. That telephone number right there, 203-334-7434. You can even call us. We'll give you our cell phone number, and you can give me a call on my cell phone number. Like I said before, I said 24/7, but you can call us just about any time. We're not
call or text. Give us a call.
We're in the office. We have an office. This is all we do, and this is what we do for our clients.
Yes.
To be able to service you. So hopefully today, maybe you want to close out and.
Give us a call. Look at these old episodes. Don't be afraid to give us a call. We're different than other agents out here. We have a lot of knowledge. 40 years, 17 years, add that together, 57 years? Where else are you going to get that?
Long time.
All right? Until next week.
God
bless.